About a couple weeks ago, I dropped a video about Sonic Unleashed, where I don't really like the modern Sonic games. Since I don't feel like repeating myself, if you want more detail about that, you can go watch that video I put up there. But to keep it real with you, I lied. Yeah, I deliberately lied actually. I wanted folk to watch that video and call me a classic elitist, because I don't like the boost games and the classic games, because I don't like the concept of running through hallways. I don't like the concept of having a second gimmick that ruins the gameplay of the experience. But yeah, to be real with you, I lied. You know, in all honesty, I actually don't hate these games. I just hate these. Sonic Colors is pretty alright. Sonic Colors was released November 16, 2010 and November 18, 2010 in Japan for the Nintendo Wii. After the success of Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Team was eager to start their next project in a newly revitalized formula, but Sonic Colors, nowadays at least, is received mixed upon the Sonic community. And while it sold real well and brought Sonic back into mainstream after a gang of not very well titles, it also took the direction most people didn't really like. People tend to say that Sonic Colors is the big bad of the boost games that ruined Sonic's reputation into a meme-spouting franchise. If I was going to give a quick TLDR of the video, it's one of my favorites in the franchise, but it suffers the same fundamental issues that I've said about the boost formula, but I think some of the parts of the game are real good enough that I didn't want to stop playing entirely, unlike some other entries in the franchise. For this video I played the Wii version because the DS version is great, but I don't know bruh, dealing with dim Sonic games post-Advance 2 seems real stupid and off-putting. But what do I even like about Sonic Colors though? This is a question I've been asking myself a lot recently, ever since that whole Sonic Unleashed spill I dealt with a couple weeks ago. And hopefully by the end of the video, I'll at least find out why I like this game so much. So I want to go through all the things I really like about Sonic Colors, and hopefully by the end of the video I can at least find some sort of answer to that question. Or maybe not, I don't know, because this game kinda sucks at ROCKET! You know, I had a real hard time writing up something that shows how much I love Sonic Colors. But I think the location to the amusement park that brings shows that part real well. The plot revolves around Sonic and Tails finding a keys to this ship that leads to the music park because, I don't know. During the development of Sonic Colors, Sonic Team decided to make the setting of an amusement park, but then realized using a generic theme park would be too small of a scope for the Sonic series, so they decided to change it to an interplanetary amusement park. And what we're given is extremely memorable, and gave me the whole same vibe locations of the previous Sonic games. They translated real well with the settings that feel alive, even though we don't see anyone, and the quote-unquote hidden malicious side. However, in the DS version we do see other people within it, which gives us the missions of a specific task we need to do in a level, of the park using the park to power up a laser, using the Wisp's power. The characters have stayed the same and feel like they have the same personality, except for Sonic for some reason has a tendency to be real annoying. Like real annoying.
It seems an evil man, and you might know him, who they call Baldy Nosehair.
Baldy Nosehair?
Bruh, shut your bitch ass up!
Hey, Tails, you missed the BBBE.
Huh?
Best boss beating ever! So, is Yacker giving you any more?
Oh my fucking... Fuck out of here!
No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me!
I don't.
The gameplay of Sonic Colors is definitely one of the best aspects and does the boost formula right. The game uses the same boost mechanic that has been seen in Sonic Unleashed, but in Colors, the boost was toned down and Sonic was a lot slower, but I think that's for the game's benefit, mainly for the platforming segments that we see in the game, and to make sure that there's actual differentiation when it comes to the zones. And even if the levels are pretty short, they end up having to supplement these by having a lot of acts, like up to 5 acts. Like, sure, the game is still pretty short, but I still had a fun time with each act. And there's also the locations the games bring. The tropical resort being the main hub of each part of the level, and show what Sonic is capable of doing. There's also Sweet Mountain, which shows how the controls can be changed on the fly. Starlight Carnival showing off the graphical fidelity of the Wii, Planet Wisp being awful, Aquarium Park being a fun water level, and Asteroid Coaster putting all of your skills to the test in one final level. And I think another part of the gameplay I actually enjoy is the Wisps. I think these are some of the most fun power-ups that they introduced in the series. Too bad they seem to refuse to actually kill these things. The White Wisp act as a way to power up your boost meter and not have the rings be the main power and source of the boost. You get these when you kill enemies and find Wisp capsules all over the levels. There's Laser, which is just a big laser that goes into any direction where you shoot it in. While this one's a bit more situational, I think it's pretty cool blazing through these levels with it. Spike's bringing back the classic spin dash within this moveset, and I think that incorporates the design and allows the designers to go a bit crazy with it. The Rocket Wisp, this one just shoots you up into the air, and I think it's really cool. The Hover Wisp brings back the Lightspeed dash while being really slow. I think that's probably the biggest problem. If it was a bit faster, I think I'd enjoy this one way more. There's Cube, while it being the slowest, I think it's pretty cool to bring in some platforming challenges with the rings that it shows. But the problem is that it takes forever to start up, so you end up using a lot of the power from it, and it ends up ending too early. So I've been talking about the positives about this game, but what are some of the things I absolutely despise? I've already brought up the notion that it's the boost gameplay and that I think it's already flawed. What about the other things? There's too much 2D. That's probably the biggest problem with this game. The game is about 80% 2D while 20% of it's actually 3D. The main reason why I see this as a problem is because the way Sonic handles and he controls in the middle of these 2D sections. He controls a lot slower, and with the levels of it being the most linear Sonic has ever gotten in a while. But the thing is, it's not noticeable compared to the rest of the Boost games, and I think sometimes these 2D sections can actually get pretty fun. Another thing about the story is that the characters don't change at all. I complained in my Unleash video about how I don't like the characters being stagnant throughout the entire game, and that's the same issue here. This time it's just even worse, as it comes off as incredibly annoying, rather than just it being, well, boring. So why don't we talk about the ending of the game? The ending finishes off with them finding out that Eggman was actually not doing this thing out of good, but finding out he powered up the whole laser, even though it was very obvious from the start. So once they do the whole thing to defeat Eggman, nearly escape a black hole, Sonic nearly dies for the 50th time again, and they escape out of a black hole. The Wisp ends up carrying him back onto Earth, and then that's it. Tails ends up translating the thing, and they just stand there. There's no stakes in this story whatsoever. And that's not to say there's a bad thing, but nearly every Sonic plot has had really high stakes in this one. This one is just Eggman wants to destroy the planet with a big laser. Okay, show me how this thing is supposed to be intimidating, even though you get a big machine at the end that's just already as powerful as the laser. So what's the point of this laser thing? In the DS version, if you get all the Chaos Emeralds, you fight the true boss, the Mother Wisp. Oh yeah, that's right, that's the final boss of this, the Mother Wisp. But, she's not important because she's only literally in the DS version and in a spin-off kart racer. Like, this plot makes me, for some reason, irrationally angry. Like, hey, if the story is entirely bad, at least it's consistent about something. But again, the gameplay of the final boss is pretty bad. It's just a straight line where you avoid these stupid things, and it kind of ruins everything great that this game was building up to. Like, boy, if you don't... Wow, this game sucks. Do I even like this game? You know, I thought working on this video would have led me to like some sort of answer in any capacity imaginable, but nah, it didn't. It just left me more confused, to be honest. This game has some real great moments, and when the highs are high, they get real good. But when this game gets low, it gets real low. As it's got some great gameplay, but it's held back by that weird story that sticks out so badly that feels totally different compared to the rest of the Sonic franchise. While I did say I liked the banter, it led the plot to nowhere. So, it just caused the characters to be way more annoying than they already were within the game. And this game barely just scrapes by being called a 3D Sonic game, as most of it is just 2D, but it has that strong gameplay that holds it all together, and it has some of the most cut-out music within the series. Like, I cannot stress how good this OST is. for about the two things that I like about this game, there's one thing that I absolutely can't stand about it. While the music ain't as good as Sonic Adventure, it's not as bad as Sonic 4 Episode 1. While the gameplay ain't as good as Sonic 3, it's not as egregiously bad and detrimentally boring as Sonic Forces. Them trying to appeal for the casuals, mainly the Mario franchise fans, they stretch it so thinly to the point where the game ends up feeling real hollow. Despite all I've said about it, I still got a pretty positive opinion about it. Boosting through these amazing levels that are some of the best looking the Wii has ever gotten. When I hear some of the greatest music that came out of Tomoya Otani's entire discography, it was probably the most fun I ever had playing a game, at least in recent memory. It's one of the only few modern Sonic games that I enjoy replaying through all over again, and it's some of the most fun I ever had within this franchise as of recently. Maybe I did enjoy some aspects of the game, but replaying it overall, playing this game made me have an overall positive attitude when it comes to these kind of games now. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is even though I got issues with the game, such as the whole majority of the game being 2D, even if I dislike some of the wisps, even if I dislike half of the wisps in the game, and even if I still found it annoying to play because it's a boost game, even if I can't enjoy the way others have from a game all the way back in 2010, at least it's not as bad as this.